City of Morgantown is offering assistance to anyone who can't afford a smoke detector. Just give them a call at 304-284-7401 to ask how you can receive a free alarm. Also, don't forget to change the batteries in your smoke detector at least every 6 months.
And while smoke detectors nearly double your chances of surviving a house fire, do you know how to keep yourself safe when you travel? The U.S. State Department is warning college students about the dangers of a popular spring break hotspot. Amanda Foley has the story.
Every year, thousands of students around the country take off for a week of fun. But the U.S. Department of State recently issued a travel alert, warning Americans heading to Mexico of the increase in crime and violence.
I'm pretty nervous, especially with everything that they've been reporting in the news lately. It makes me nervous to really go out or anything, especially in Mexico, and for my friends' safety as well.
Officials say that over 100,000 students are traveling south of the border this year. Morgantown travel agent Gary Wong says he thinks the media is blowing the issue out of proportion.
The president of Student Travel Service yesterday, and he just came back from Cancun, and his staff, he told me, has been down there for the last 3 weeks. And there wasn't any incident in Cancun where everybody's talking about right now.
And if you're one of the thousands of students traveling to Mexico for this spring break, officials say there are just a few simple rules you can follow to help keep yourself safe. Always stay with your group. Try to stay within the limits of your resort. Also, never use a random taxi service. And finally, you can register with your hotel or the U.S. Embassy so they can track you throughout your stay. Amanda Foley, WVU News, Morgantown.
So are you going anywhere for spring break, Casey? I'm going to New York for a couple of days and then home to see family in Maryland.
Wow, I'm looking forward to just relaxing for the week. But those are some helpful tips if you're planning on leaving the country.
That's true. Not everyone likes to travel, Casey. I mean, some would rather paint or play an instrument. But now people are using music and art together to create a truly unique masterpiece.
I'm Ryan Edsel. Coming up on WVU News, I can show you how music majors can become painting students without even using a brush.
Music and painting have traditionally been described as two different art forms. One uses instruments to make sounds, and the other uses a brush to make images.
That's right, Casey, but now some students are breaking the artistic barrier and performing music the same way an artist would paint a landscape. Ryan Edsel explains.
Thanks, Casey and Jeff. At West Virginia University, there's now a painting class where the brush is an instrument and the canvas, our ears. Take a look. A different kind of tune can be heard from a tiny room in WVU's Creative Arts Center. It's called sound painting, and it involves improvising music conducted by hand signals. Music major Brandon Williams says his involvement with the group can be therapeutic.
Taking a class like this really opens up our minds and really reveals some creative possibilities for musicianship.
Music professor Paul C.A. started the class 2 years ago and has since conducted weekly sessions for students.
Yeah, it is a preparation for concerts. It's also just a creative outlet at the end of the day that people experiment in here. It's not a typical class and it's not a typical ensemble, so we're not rehearsing to hone a particular piece or even particular skills.
Sound painting was developed in the 1970s by New York composer Walter Thompson. Students improvise with their hands, feet, and voices, and sometimes just talking about their day.
I got my paper back again today.
Sound painting involves more than 800 signs and signals, but with a class this size, they only need about 50.
Types of notes we could play. This means long tones, so we could just play obviously long tones. These mean hits, so every time I do this, everybody will just do a very loud and brash hit.
Williams says this class has helped him as a student. He wants to focus on teaching elementary music after graduation. Paul Cier's class practices most Tuesdays in preparation for concerts every semester. I'm Ryan Edsel. That's been your entertainment report. Casey and Jeff, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. And before we go, we'd like to congratulate Rebecca Durst of Point Pleasant for being named the new Mountaineer mascot. She'll be only the second woman in school history to carry the musket.
That's right. Newly elected Secretary of State Natalie Tennant became the first female Mountaineer back in 1990. So congratulations, Rebecca.
Well, that's all for this week. I'm Casey Hott.
And I'm Jeff Coyle. Be sure to check us out online at itunes.wvu.edu. Thanks for watching WVU News.